Hello friends, welcome back to the lecture series on linear differential equations. In previous few lectures, we discussed method of solving for variable coefficient form as well as constant coefficient forms of linear differential equations. In today's lecture, we discuss simultaneous linear differential equation. So sometimes in application, we come across the equations which contains one independent variable and multiple dependent variables. If we consider a differential equation, let's take one example. Suppose the differential equation is dx by dt, where x is dependent variable and t is independent variable, plus 5 times x minus 2 times y equal to t. This is equation number 1. Similarly, 2x plus dy by dt plus y is equal to 0. So this is a system of differential equations containing dependent variables x and y and independent variable t. So we have to solve this system of linear differential equations with respect to variables x and y in terms of independent variable t. So for solving this system, expectation is we have to find values for x in terms of function of t as well as y in terms of variable t, satisfying these two equations simultaneously. So this is not the case. X is equal to f1 of t satisfies this equation, but it does not satisfy this equation. So we have to find the solution for x and y in terms of t, which will satisfy both the equations at a time. So to solve, there are many ways, but we go for very efficient way. That is, we treat x and y as the variables and remaining terms as constant or the coefficients. We apply Cramer's rule and find the required solution. So for solving system of linear differential equations, we need to recall Cramer's rule. So Cramer's rule we use to solve system of linear equations. So we consider, let a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 is equation number 1. a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. The two equations containing variables x and y. Then we can find value for x and y by using Cramer's rule. So there are different versions of Cramer's rule. So we use here x upon determinant of something, y upon determinant of something equal to 1 upon determinant of something. So to remember this, we take first variable upon determinant of coefficients of the terms present in the equation which are not coefficient of x. That is, for calculating denominator of x, we take coefficient of y and constant term only. That is b1 c1 in the equation number 1, b2 c2 in equation 2. So we consider first term as positive, second as negative. Y is the second variable and we take determinant of coefficient of x in equation 1 and 2 and constant term in equation 1 and 2 respectively. So for calculating denominator to the constant term, we take coefficients of x and y and neglect the constant term. That is a1, a2, b1, b2 are coefficients of x and y respectively. Then for calculating x, we equate ratio 1 and 3. So we take x is equal to, we take this denominator term to the numerator on the right hand side. So that value will be b1 into c2 minus b2 into c1. This is our numerator and denominator will be determinant of the third. That is a1 into b2 minus a2 into b1. So this is your value for variable x. Similarly, y is equal to that. Y is, take this minus sign along with this determinant on right hand side. So we take minus times a1 into c2 minus a2 into c1 in the numerator, where denominator is unchanged, that is a1 into b2 minus a2 into b1. So we apply this formula for solving simultaneous differential equations. So we get back to the problem again. So example number 1. Solve the following simultaneous differential equations. And the problem was, first equation is dx by dt plus 5 times x minus 2 times y equal to t, and 2 times x plus dy by dt plus y equal to 0. So for solving this, we use operator d, where d represents derivative with respect to independent variable t. Therefore equations can be rewritten as d plus 5 into x minus 2 times y, and we take this t to the left hand side, minus t equal to 0. Same is the case with second equation, that is 2x plus d plus 1 into y equal to 0. There is no term containing t. Now we treat variable x and variable y are the variables in this system of equation, and remaining terms will be treated as constants or the coefficients. So therefore we apply Cramer's rule. Therefore, by using Cramer's rule, so we have x upon determinant of coefficients of x and constant term. So coefficient of y, so minus 2 in first equation and d plus 1 in second equation, where constant term in first equation is minus t, second equation it was absent. Second variable taken negative, minus y upon determinant of coefficient of x, that is d plus 5 and 2, and constant term which is minus t and 0, equal to, constant term is represented by 1 upon determinant of coefficients of x, that is d plus 5 and 2, in second column coefficients of y, that is minus 2 and d plus 1. So this is our Cramer's rule. Now we first calculate value for x. We consider first and third ratio, that is x upon determinant of. So we evaluate the determinant. So first term will be 0 minus minus plus d plus 1 into t equal to 1 upon. So we evaluate the determinant here. So product of these two factors, d plus 5 and d plus 1, that will be d square plus 6d plus 5, and product of these two terms, minus minus plus 4. So if we take this term on left hand side, we get a linear differential equation with constant coefficients, that is d square plus 6d plus 9 into x is equal to, since d is the operator which takes derivative with respect to t, if we operate this d on t, it will take derivative of t with respect to t, that is 1 plus t. So this will be the linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Let's denote this by equation number 1. And general solution for this x is calculated by calculating complementary function as well as particular integral. So for calculating complementary function, we consider auxiliary equation, which is nothing but d square plus 6d plus 9. That is d plus 3 bracket square, and we equate it to 0. Therefore, complementary function in terms of variable t will be, since there is repeated real root, we take linear combination of two arbitrary constants in increasing powers of independent variable t into e raised to minus 3t. This will be the required complementary function. Let's denote it by equation number 1. Therefore, to find particular integral, let particular integral of x is equal to 1 upon auxiliary equation, that is d plus 3 bracket square into f of t, that is 1 plus t. Since it is algebraic function, we need to expand auxiliary equation. So for the expansion, if we take 3 common, so what will be this value? So it is equal to 1 plus. So instead of applying binomial expansion for n is equal to minus 2, we go for a little lengthy kind of method. Since our auxiliary equation is d square plus 6d plus 9 into 1 plus t, we take this 9 as common. So we take 9 common. So the constant term will become 1, and this term will be d square plus 6d upon 9, and f of t as it is. So if we call this as x, then expansion of 1 upon 1 plus x is 1 minus x plus x square and so on. Therefore 1 upon 9 into 1 minus x, so d square plus 6d upon 9 plus d square plus 6d upon 9 square and so on. And then we operate this 1 plus t on it. Since for function 1 plus t, we can differentiate this function up to order 1 only. So second order and higher order derivative terms will be meaningless for us, so we can neglect d square. If you expand this d square plus 6d bracket square, so here maximum power will be d raised to 4 and minimum power will be d square, and this expansion will vary from d square to d raised to 4, and all the terms are meaningless, means we can neglect all the terms after the second term in the expansion. So we get 1 upon 9 into 1 minus 2 by 3 into t into 1 plus t. If we take the product, so 1 upon 9, 1 plus t minus 2 upon 3 times derivative of this bracket, so that derivative will be 1. So if you simplify this, 1 upon 9 into t, so this value will be 1 minus 2 by 3, so it is equal to 1 by 3. So this is your required particular integral in terms of t. If we denote it by equation number 2, therefore from equation 1 and equation 2, the required solution for x in terms of t is complementary function plus particular integral, that is c1 plus c2 into t e raised to minus 3t plus 1 upon 9 into t plus 1 by 3. This is a required general solution for variable x. Now to find value for y, for calculating y, we can use Cramer's rule or we can use the previous solution. Since your equation in terms of y is d plus 5 into x minus 2 times y equal to t, here we can find value for y is equal to, so if we take this term, so y is equal to 1 upon 2 times d plus 5 into x minus t. That is nothing but 1 upon 2 times derivative of x with respect to t plus 5 times x minus t. So here value for x is known. We can find derivative of x with respect to t. Substitute those values here to find value for y. Therefore, we denote it by equation number 2. So since x is equal to c1 plus c2t into e raised to minus 3t plus 1 upon 9 times t plus 1 by 3, we can find derivative of x with respect to t, and it is equal to, so it is minus 3 times c1 plus c2t into e raised to minus 3t plus c2 times e raised to minus 3t plus 1 upon 9. So if we consider these two constants together, or we can keep it as it is. Therefore, from this, equation 2 becomes y is equal to 1 upon 2 times. So we substitute value for dx by dt first. So minus 3 times c1 plus c2t into e raised to minus 3t plus c2 into e raised to minus 3t plus 1 upon 9. Then plus 5 times x. So it is 5 times c1 plus c2t e raised to minus 3t plus 5 by 9 times t plus 1 by 3 minus t. So now we can simplify. So it is equal to 1 upon 2 times, so it is 2 times c1 plus c2t into e raised to minus 3t plus c2 e raised to minus 3t plus 5 by 9 minus 1. If we simplify this together, by 9 minus 1, that is equal to minus 4 by 9 into t plus 1 by 9 plus by 27. So that will be 8 by 27. So constant terms are done, coefficients of t are done. So this will be the required term. So it is equal to c1 plus c2t into e raised to minus 3t plus c2 upon 2 e raised to minus 3t minus 2 upon 9 into t plus 4 upon 27. So this is the required value for y, or we can combine these two constants together. So this will be, we can combine, instead of these two, we can combine coefficients of e raised to minus 3t together. Since this is constant, so we can merge them together. So this term will be vanished, and there are 3 terms in the required general solution for y. So this will be the required solution for simultaneous differential equation by using Cramer's rule. So if you don't want to use this, we can get back to Cramer's rule for y, find complementary function as well as particular integral. Whatever we get, that will be the required general solution for y. Thank you.